Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Achilios, and I'm joined by Ambroise from Pulsar, as well as the one and only TenZ. And we're here for one reason only. TenZ, you and Pulsar together have now made your own mouse.
Originally, I was actually doing the mouse entirely on my own. I had a meeting with Pulsar. I think the brand identity really aligns with my vision or view on peripherals in general. And so I think it's just a collaboration that just makes sense in my mind.
What about this makes it special?
My grip is a very unique one. I use a relaxed palm claw, but it's still a weird one. So it really fits my hands, and I mean, that's what it was made for. It's literally made to fit my hand. That's why it's called the Signature Edition. Yeah, so just in general, I was trying to make something that was perfect in my mind.
When TenZ came to us, he already had the mouse, the shape. He already had that figured out. And then we just made that into a gaming mouse.
For the scroll wheel, I have my jump on the mouse wheel, so I like to have a wheel that's more stiff and then kind of is harder to actuate.
Getting into the mouse itself, who would you say this is for?
I do a relaxed palm claw. So anyone that does a relaxed claw would feel pretty comfortable. I gave it to my high school friends as well, and they all love it. It's a very natural feeling. Even if you're not trying to compete and be the greatest, if you're just holding the mouse, you'll definitely feel that's a lot more comfortable than a lot of other mice.
You said that there's multiple things that other mice did correctly, but they had shortcomings. What was the biggest shortcoming that you had that you wanted to correct? Was it the shape? Was it the grip?
I would say probably the shape. There's just things that in certain mice, for example, the front might be too low for me because I put my finger really in front of the mouse. So a low front, I was not able to properly grip the mouse. Also, some companies like doing sharp edges in the front instead of rounded edges, and I do an overlap on my grip. Also, I'm pretty particular with switches. I don't really like tactility. I like kind of a more easy to spam click. And then there's a third. I think some people, the side button position is up in the front, and that's because I have a more relaxed thumb. And so that's basically making it so it is more easy for me to press both buttons, because on some mice, it might be too far back.
How many iterations would you say that you guys went through testing out different variations of it until you had finally gotten to this one?
It was around 10 or 11, 12 molds-ish. So once I had the idea, we started off with just a very generic shape and just doing trial and error, molding it out, then changing some stuff. So maybe this one, I want it to be a higher hump. On this other one, I maybe want more flare on the sides. So it was just a lot of tweaking and changing. But the most important thing for me was I needed to make sure that I could hold it. So that was probably the hardest part, was definitely the shape, because you have to basically make it, and then you have to hold it and see if it's comfortable. The first prototypes, it was just a mold, so it wasn't even playable. So it was kind of hard at times to be okay, I'm gonna hold this for an hour and not do anything with it.
Just sit there.
Yeah, just sit there.
Make sure that it's comfortable.
Yeah. I think I started making molds probably early 2024, I think. So it's been a decent amount of time.
For how long was it from kind of getting in touch with TenZ, taking that mold, and then being able to ship the product? How long did that take?
It was very fast. Since we had the shape already, one thing we're really good at Pulsar is coming up with new products really fast and developing stuff really fast. I think it took us 5 months.
Well, but the aesthetic of the mouse itself, because it's not very loud. It's very subtle, it's very clean.
So I knew what I wanted in my mind as well for the design. And just in general, I like the very clean, minimalistic kind of vibes. And I like that with not just mice, but everything. The idea with the black on black logos, which are very pretty small, it was just so you don't really see it, but if a fan they can see it that it's there and kind of appreciate it.
And so for design, so for our discussions about design was always so smooth because we agreed on everything. Sometimes you even requested it to be even more minimalistic, and we're actually satisfied. We're actually happy that you gave. It feels really premium. It looks really premium, and yeah, it was great. I think we really aligned on this subject. So
I gave Pulsar the house, and then they put the furniture in. So, so all the technology that's in the mouse is 100% Pulsar's, and I've used other Pulsar mice before, and so I really did trust Pulsar for producing this, and that was a big thing for me to it was important.
The collaboration with TenZ, we didn't want it to just be a variation, a themed product. We just put everything, we just put the best stuff we could inside. And so yeah, right now it's rated the fastest mouse out of all the ones that we actually have and the ones on the market.
So 47 grams specifically. How does I just use mice. You know, I'm not a professional by any means. How do you come down to a specific number such as 47 grams?
Like I said, with like using a bunch of different mice, I do like kind of like the 47, like 50 gram range. And because with the idea of like, I made this mouse to be like really, really good in like tack shooters in mind. And so tack shooter players, like on average, they have higher mouse weights than compared to like, for example, Overwatch or like Rivals. So games like that where like it's a lot more tracking based, a lot more like finger movement. So just having that like locked in feeling, but then also making it light enough where it's easy to move around, but not heavy enough where like you start getting tired. So that was the idea with like 47 grams.
Yeah, weight is another thing that's quite personal.
Yeah.
So yeah, some people will like 65 gram mice. Some people will just want the lightest thing they can. And some people kind of want in between. And I think for you, like 47 gram, like that around the sweet spot for you.
When I was still competing, it was actually funny because we would be scrimming and I would have my mouse mold like right next to like my mouse pad. And so like if I die in the round, I'll be like, switch this in, just hold it for a bit. So I was just doing that, and yeah, I was nerding out.
Was there any instances where you accidentally were holding that and then you went to play and then realized like, oh, I'm not holding my mouse?
No, I didn't do that. No, I was very conscious of it.
I was gonna say I could see Kaplan getting a little bit annoyed.
This is another approach when I was originally making the mouse by myself without Pulsar. Price was a big thing too. Like manufacturing costs a lot, and then also we were only able to do it in limited quantity, and that wasn't something that like I believed in. I kind of think that like if you have a mouse, it should be like out, it should be available to buy. Because like if you see like maybe like one of your favorite players like using the mouse and you want to go buy it, but it's like impossible to, I think that can be like kind of like disheartening. Working with Pulsar, we were able to turn down the price like a lot compared to what the original idea was. So that was just something that I wanted personally. I want to make sure that like people can buy the mouse. So I do think it's in line with a lot of other mice currently, and it doesn't have like a crazy like TenZ tax on it.
So when was the first time that you got the finished product?
I don't remember, but it was like, it felt like Christmas because I got the package and I opened it as fast as humanly possible and ran to my setup. Like I scaled my stairs and plugged in the mouse immediately. I do want people to know that like I actually put in a lot of effort and a lot of my time to make this as best I could. Just in general, like I wanted to make a very personalized and a very like high quality product. I mean, if people like doubt it, you have to hold the mouse and try it out and see if it fits for you, because I think this mouse is super, super comfortable.